Since Season 2 is coming out in just over a week, I thought I might as well finish off the DLC weapons within Season 1, which left me with the Groza, the MAC-10, and the 2 melee weapons. The MAC-10 was about halfway gold, and the Groza I haven't touched whatsoever, so yesterday I grinded out the Groza and got this thing gold. I'm going to be sharing my tips and tricks with you, and some things you should know while using this assault rifle, my class setup, and all the extra information I have on the Groza. I want to jump right into the attachments and class setup right off the bat. You'll see all the perks and equipment I use on screen, but I want to talk about the attachments more in depth. I have static attachments and dynamic attachments. The static ones are the attachments that I run on every assault rifle, regardless of which one it is. And that's my foregrip that I run for horizontal and vertical recoil control, my airborne elastic wrap for ADS speed increases, and the suppressor for stealth. My dynamic attachments fall under 3 categories, and that is going to be optic, stock, and magazine. For my optic, if I'm not running it, I'll have iron sights, but if I am running an optic, I'm either running the 3x sight or a mini reflex sight, depending on what map I'm playing and what game mode I am in, but 9 times out of 10 I'm using the 3x scope. For my stock, if I am using it, it is the stock that increases your shooting movement speed and sprint to fire speed. And then if I'm using a magazine, I'm using the highest capacity magazine possible with the fastest reload time, which ends up being the salvo mags once you get to higher weapon levels. And talking about how I leveled up the Groza so fast is I already had it max level because I had Dark Ether camo on it previously in zombies. So if you guys are still wanting to get both Dark Ether and Dark Matter, it's easier to get your Dark Ether camos first and then your Dark Matter camos second, so your guns are leveled up as much as possible and you can work on as many camos simultaneously as possible. All the camo challenges were really straightforward and the exact same as the rest of the assault rifles. I will have the full Dark Matter guide and guide playlist in the description, so if you guys want a more in-depth guide that I've already done, you can check that video out. I just don't think it's worth making the exact same video over again, just specifically focusing on the Groza. But I do want to talk about camo challenges that you guys should know about, which is the long shots and kills behind cover. Everything else you can do in your preferred game mode on your favorite maps, whether that's Nuketown 24/7 or Hardcore Dom or whatever. The long shots and kills behind cover, you should be doing in a hardcore game mode. That way, all you have to do is land 1 or 2 shots to get a kill with the Groza. Thinking about it now, I don't think I've ever gotten a 2-shot kill. It's always been a 1-shot kill. The bullet velocity is slow, so if you are a person that runs the weapon perk greed, then you can add more attachments and then have that barrel that increases your bullet velocity and damage. But other than that, the gun is perfect in most scenarios. Long shots, I hit up hardcore domination and abused the long shot spots, which landed me the long shot camo challenge completion really fast within the game. I think I completed all my long shots within 3 or 4 games, which didn't take long whatsoever. But the camo challenge that I was left with last was kills behind cover, and I was playing hardcore dom for the majority of this time, and there wasn't a lot of games that I was playing where enemies were behind cover until I got maps like Raid, Express, Moscow, or Satellite. Those 4 maps are perfect for kills behind cover. Enemies are always head glitching. So for example, on Raid, the B flag side as well as the pool side will always have enemies head glitching or pushing out of their spawn where they have to maneuver around cover so you can get those kills behind cover. For Express, if you are in the balconies from A to C spawn, you can get tons of enemies that are sitting in these areas, as well as behind the windows by B flag, in the trains, as well as the weird little control room that is in the middle, just adjacent to B by the out of map side. All of these spots on Express will always have enemies around them, which gives you plenty of opportunities to get kills while enemies are behind cover. Moscow is the same thing, where by the B flag, there's always people using the head glitches there to try and get an advantage point, which gives you plenty of kills while enemies are behind cover. And then on Satellite, in the dunes, if you can only see an enemy's head because they're camping behind a dune, every kill you get will count as long as you can see a little bit of their body, because the dunes register everything, which is a huge advantage to playing that map. But the challenges are pretty easy for camo challenges. The weapon performance with the Groza isn't the best in the world. It has a high fire rate and a medium recoil pattern, which is easy to control at close range, okay at medium range, and can be a struggle at long range. So if you're going for long range kills, hardcore one taps are going to be the way to go. where you're using your assault rifle like a marksman rifle. But in close to medium range situations, you are going to be golden. I would say performance wise, the Groza is the halfway point between the FFAR and the XM4, where it has medium attributes of both, making it an overall good assault rifle. Now, if you are in core, long shots will be difficult, so you will have to control your spray pattern, but close medium range engagements, you're going to dominate. The only time you will get outclassed is if it's a shotgun or SMG and they have the upper hand, but even then you will outclass a lot of SMGs well, just because the high fire rate and it being assault rifle damage, you're going to win those gunfights. Snipers, you're going to get outclassed at long range. LMGs, you'll get outclassed at long range, and your main competition is going to be the medium range. You will dominate it most of the time unless enemies are also using assault rifles of similar caliber like the AK, XM4, or even the FFAR if they have good recoil control. But overall, the Groza, not that hard to do. If you're not a fan of fast fire rate assault rifles and you're finding the FFAR a hard time, if you have the Groza unlocked, replace getting the FFAR gold with the Groza. It's just a little bit more easier, and since you only need 5 weapons regardless of if they are DLC or not, you'll be getting diamond and your progression towards dark matter just the same. Overall, the Groza is pretty mediocre. It outclasses a few weapons, but it also gets outclassed by a decent amount of weapons, and it falls mid-class of the assault rifles. Those who like the assault rifles like the AK-47, QBZ, and Krieg, getting used to the Groza will be a little bit difficult just because of the high fire rate, but if you are used to the FFAR, the Groza is going to be perfect for you and you will complete it out just like that. And if you're a completionist like me, where you have dark matter and dark ether and eventually have to do it on the Groza as well, it'll be your standard run-of-the-mill grind with this specific weapon. And that's the Groza for you. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video, dislike if you didn't. There's no hard feelings whatsoever. Remember, in the description there's that full DM Ultra camo guide and full DM Ultra camo guide playlist, which will have every video I've ever done for DM Ultra in one place, including the best spots to get long shots on every single map. Subscribe for more videos in the future. Let me know what you think of the Groza in the comments down below, and if there is one, I will see you in the next one. Peace.